Hello, everyone. If you're like most, you can probably remember exactly where you were when it happened. The lockdown, that eerie silence. It seemed like the entire world just shut down overnight. We got through those early weeks thinking this can't last much longer. But as life slowly got back on track, those weeks became months, that became a year, and then an unbelievable 2 years. 24 months that changed our lives. Now, where we are, where we're going, and the human spirit that kept us moving forward.
Growing concern at this hour over a possible outbreak first reported in China.
Mysterious respiratory virus.
61 passengers infected.
First American infected.
Across the globe. Empty store shelves. Global health scare. No signs of slowing.
Hospitals overwhelmed.
Declaring a national emergency.
Every major sports league calling a timeout.
Governors and mayors shutting down restaurants, gyms, movie theaters.
All bars.
Telling people to stay home.
All of a sudden, everything came to a stop unlike anything any of us had ever experienced before.
It felt like everything we knew ceased to exist, and an entirely new reality took over.
A shaken world trying to sort out that new reality.
We walked up the stairs to our apartment, and we stayed there for a very long time.
I just turned to my daughter and she was crying. And then I started crying, and we're trying not to touch anything.
The natural gestures of connection, of care, of trust, of bonding cut off.
Healthcare workers pushed to the brink, like ICU nurse Danelle Schmall, who rushed to New York from D.C. to help, becoming overwhelmed by the calamity.
I don't think people understand how stressful this job is.
And death was everywhere.
There were people dying in our midst, bodies stacked like cordwood.
Death could be around the corner at any second, and it's unpredictable.
It's a moment of extreme reckoning that comes when you're faced with your own mortality.
You have enormous fear. Can I bring my groceries into the house? Do I need to wear a mask? What kind of mask do I need to wear?
Words that meant little to us at the beginning were now the language of our lives.
Social distancing, quarantining, isolation, herd immunity, PCR tests, super spreader.
More than 50 million school children and their teachers forced to go remote. The first few months of the shutdown put more than 20 million people out of work. Together, we were in a massive real-time experiment. We changed the way we dress, the way we shop, the way we eat. Our homes got real crowded real fast. A short commute down to the screening room in my basement, but like so many, under these circumstances, working from home.
Home became the center not only of living, but working, learning, leisure. It became the center of everything in our lives.
And we began to experience the world from our little boxes. Do you remember that pre-COVID viral video when the kids walked into their dad's live TV interview?
My apologies.
That was now everyone's reality.
I apologize for my cat's tail.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
Each of us struggled with the fundamental question: how do we live now?
There is no going back. The world is forever changed.
We all started to ask ourselves what we want to do with our very short lives and how we want to live.
The answers were as varied as the voices asking the question. Talib McDowell, a hotel manager from Tampa, Florida, was furloughed at the beginning of the pandemic as the travel industry collapsed.
It was the first time that I ever personally worried about the future of our family and how we were going to get through the disaster.
Just became, just worry. Is everybody going to be okay?
Good shot.
The McDowell family was able to head off financial jeopardy by moving 3 generations under one roof.
We can really kind of pool our resources together and figure out how to get through this thing, because we don't know how long it's going to be.
Oh, you don't own it.
You should never bet against human ingenuity. I think this pandemic showed us that.
Okay.
The grandparents pitched in, taking care of their grandchildren. Talib put his parents on a healthier diet, which the grandkids enforced.
I didn't expect them to start telling on us if we sneak snacks at night out of the pantry.
The one word that represents COVID to me is reinvention.
Reinvention was top of mind for single mom Allison Irby Vu.
Am I going to hold your hand while you skateboard?
As a financial planner living just outside of D.C., she was the sole provider for her 3-year-old Enzo.
He was going to virtual school, and when he'd go to bed, I'd go to sleep too because I was exhausted, but then I'd get up at like 1 or 2 in the morning and work until he woke up. We weren't connecting with friends and family, and I realized I could do that anywhere.
Cities around the country offering people thousands of dollars and other incentives to move and work there.
Smaller places like Tucson, Topeka, and Tulsa hope to entice newly remote workers.
The Tulsa Remote Program is paying $10,000 to move to Tulsa. When else would we do this?
Are the clouds the same?
You're going to get people who are moving, starting businesses, quitting jobs to switch careers.
For Emily Hyatt, a rabbi from Denver, it wasn't about moving or switching careers, but staying put and trying to stay connected to the people who had scattered. So this single mom opened her laptop and brought the congregation to her.
My desk is in my room right next to the bed, and so I would put my son with like snacks and Legos while I was leading Friday night services. There was a lot of muting. I just need 5 minutes. Can you watch one more episode of Paw Patrol?
For her and many other religious leaders across the country, it was a paradigm shift.
We figured out how to connect differently, how to recommit to the community that we're a part of, and we stopped being unrooted.
Thank you so much for coming to the wedding.
We had to honor life's landmarks in new ways.
Congratulations, class of 2021.
Reimagine ways of how we live that began out of desperation may be here to stay. The McDowell family now has plans to build a new home with a grandparent wing.
Compliments to the show.
Something that started out very temporary. We want to keep doing this thing.
The past 24 months has shown truly what family can do for each other and make things work.
If there's nobody blocking the goal, I'm just going to get it.
For Allison, her 1-year experiment is now a long-term plan.
To be a present mother, creative in my work, and not be depleted. It's a big shift, and I think a lot of people have had that taste of it and aren't going to want to let it go.
Together, who is like you?
And in Denver, Rabbi Hyatt's congregation has started to return. The last 24 months taught her that community can have infinite definitions.
24 months ago, we left this beautiful sanctuary. A word that has come up over the past few years has been the word resilience. Resilience is not about being impacted. Resilience is not about hurting or suffering. It's about how we come back.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.